guys, I am here and I just finished my first radiation treatment for today, so I thought that I would come on here and just give you an update. As you recall, if you've watched one of my previous videos where I talked about getting radiation to the T3 epidural lesion, this is what today's radiation is. Initially, this lesion was discovered soon after my craniotomy that I had in January. So probably around the next scans, whenever that was when they first saw it. And it was different than the rest of my bone metastases because I have never had anything in the epidural space before. So if I can just explain how the anatomy works with this so that you can visualize why the tumor is different and its location. You basically have the brain and the spinal cord, and the brain and the spinal cord are connected, and it's what I would say is internal, is more inside. And then in order to protect the brain and the spinal cord, there are these layers that are collectively known as the meninges, and the meninges is comprised of 3 different layers, is the dura mater, the pia mater, and the arachnoid mater. So the dura mater is the outer layer that is sitting right next to the bone, either the skull or the vertebra, depending on if it's in the brain or the spinal cord. And then you have the arachnoid layer, which is this layer in the middle, and then you have the pia mater, which is the innermost layer that is the closest to the brain tissue or the spinal cord. So my lesion is in what is called the epidural space, so epi and dura. So epi means above or around. So it's basically the layer that sits between the dura mater and the skull. And in this case, for me, it would be in between the dura mater and the vertebra, the T3 vertebra, which is the 3rd level of the thoracic spine. So this is concerning because it is kind of invading a little bit more than what we would like, what my doctors would like. I have never had any tumors that are inside of my brain or inside of my spinal cord. They have always been in the bones. And then I also have some tumors in the lungs, but aside from that, I've never had any organ involvement in terms of my cancer. Even when I had the craniotomy back in January, it was actually for a tumor that was inside the skull, and it had a little bit of a soft tissue component to it. Because of that, it got so big that it was actually pushing on the brain tissue and then causing symptoms as a result of that, but it wasn't actually a brain tumor. I just wanted to kind of clarify that for you. So when we found this epidural area, we were a little bit worried because if it keeps invading more, it can go into the spinal cord and cause what's called a spinal cord compression, which is really not something that we would want because I could become paralyzed and it could be very serious very fast. So because of this, it was more of like an emergency situation, like slightly emergency, not, like my craniotomy or anything, but I had a very limited area for it to grow. And because of that, they were really carefully monitoring the lesion every 6 weeks or so and decided that we would treat it if it grew. So between April and now, I've had about 3 scans for follow-up because we did a 6-week follow-up from the April scan, which showed very slight growth. And then from there, we did another scan back in July. And then the last one was in September when we were planning the radiation. And surprisingly, the scan from May to July, there was not a significant growth, even though I was going through such a crazy, stressful period in my life. But I think it was sort of delayed because when my body was finally able to relax, and it was like kind of like a delayed stress response, the scan from July to September showed a really big increase in growth, which kind of alarmed me actually, and I didn't even really share that because I haven't been recording videos, but that just kind of confirmed for me that I really need to get this treated and that radiation is the right choice for now. When I came here to get the radiation planning, I was pleasantly surprised because the doctor told me that she could do SBRT, which is the Stereotactic Body Radiation Therapy, which is like radiosurgery that I've done in the past that has been very effective for my cancer. It's more precise, high-dose radiation versus conventional radiation where you're going for like 2 to 6 weeks or so with lower doses. And In the past, for me, what's worked the best is the SBRT. So I was told that I couldn't get that done initially where I was, but then this doctor said that she could easily do that and that there would be no problems with it. And I did discuss with neurosurgery, just to reiterate, about possibly getting surgery for it, and they told me that it was going to be a very major surgery and they would not recommend it unless it was the absolute last resort. And having gone through multiple surgeries recently, I really am not in the mood to do another one. So today when I came, I was expecting that we would do 5 treatments because that's what she told me initially. So I had it planned for today, Wednesday, Friday, and then next week I would get my cryoablation done on Monday and then have 2 more sessions Wednesday and Friday. But when I came in today, I was told that she reduced it to just 3 treatments, which I'm super happy about because that means that I will be done this week, and that way I will get the cryoablation done on Monday and just have the rest of the week to recover. I was a little bit concerned that I was going to be in a lot of pain and trying to recover from the cryoablation, but still have to come in to get radiation, and I wasn't sure what the side effects were going to be like. But the good thing is that I was able to take off work. I'm working this week 2 days a week, and then the whole next week I have off. So that's going to be good, and I'm just really happy that this has been reduced to 3 treatments instead of 5. And they gave me 8 grays, so it's going to be a total of 24 grays, which is typical. In the past, usually if I get SBRT, it'll be around 30 grays, well, between like 24 to 30 grays over 3 treatments or so. So this is definitely what I'm used to, and I've been through this before. I think I've had about 7 different areas in my spine treated in the past with SBRT, and I've never really had any side effects with it. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be the same thing, that I'm not going to have any side effects. The process of radiation planning is that you go in there and then they do some scans and then they make a mold for you to lay on, and you'll be using that mold for the rest of the radiation treatments. A lot of times they will place stickers or tattoos. I've gotten tattoos in the past where they kind of just put one dot, it's like a mole, but this time, since I'm only getting 3 treatments, I told them to just keep the stickers on. So I have the stickers on right here, so they marked it, and basically they use these stickers. I have like 2 on the sides as well, but they use it to orient themselves when they're giving you treatments after you lay on that mold and you lay really still. And the whole process takes about half an hour or so. So my appointment was at 1:45 and I was done walking out at like 2:20. So it's really not long at all, and you just kind of lay there and you relax, close your eyes, whatever, and it's done. So it's really not a big deal, and compared to what I have been through lately, this is definitely not difficult at all. So I just went to pick up 32 ounces of green juice before I head back home. So good. The other thing I wanted to update you guys on is what I've been doing with my routine. I have really just tried to search for ways to streamline everything, because with everything that's going on right now, I just really don't have the time to prepare meals for myself, to prepare meals for my kids, and work and do all of the cancer treatments at once. So I really just searched for easy ways to be able to stick with my routine so that I don't cheat and I don't do things that are not going to be good for my body. I found a meal plan called Thistle, and I've known about them for a little while, but they did not deliver in my area when I used to live in Georgia. Thankfully now they do deliver where I am living, and so that has been a blessing because they are an organic meal plan company. I would say about 85% organic, because not everything is organic, but they do list all of the ingredients that they use that are organic. And just finding that in a meal plan is a pretty big deal already. They have vegan and non-vegan meal plans, but I did choose the vegan option because right now I'm really just not eating a whole lot of meat. I've actually cut out meat in my diet about 3 months ago, and have gone back to eating mostly fish and seafood about 2 to 3 times a week. So I'm not strictly vegan, but I am gearing more towards the diet that has worked for me in the past, just until my body heals, and then after that I can change it up again. This meal plan is a lot cheaper than the one that I have ordered from in the past. That's called Sakara Life, and that one was also organic, except it was almost twice as expensive, and I definitely could just not afford it, and I would order a few meals from them just to supplement if I didn't have time to cook. But since this one is cheaper, I'm able to just order all of my meals with them. Well, I'm ordering 3 meals a day for 5 days a week, and then on the weekends I either go and get food from another organic type of restaurant, and they have plenty of them around here, or I'll cook something for myself. But that's what I've been doing, I would say, for the past 3 to 4 weeks now, and it's amazing because I don't have to think at all about what I'm going to do when I wake up. I just have the food ready, and it allows me to really stick with eating all of my meals and not skip meals. And I know that I have been pretty skinny and just struggling to gain weight, so it's hard to gain any weight when you're just skipping meals and eating erratically. So this really allows me to eat my meals on time every day at 9 a.m., around noon to 1 p.m., and then around 6 p.m. So I really stick with this, and I've been counting my calories. The meals are about 500 to 600 calories each for lunch and dinner, and for breakfast it's usually about 400 calories or so. So in a day, it varies between around 1,300 to 1,500 calories. And so I do have to supplement a little bit more with some extra protein, either from nut butters or nuts and seeds, or I will eat some chia pudding. I'll, like I said, add some fish and seafood in a couple times a week, and that really helps to boost my protein intake because I'm currently weight training as well. So I started going to this place that has a sauna and cold plunge, and the place is actually a personal fitness gym, but they added the sanctuary room where they have this really nice infrared sauna that has a red light as well, and then they have a tub for the cold plunge, and it goes all the way down to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So I will go there, and then I'll do about 25 minutes in the sauna just to sweat, and then I'll go into the cold plunge at 40 degrees for 5 minutes. So that's a pretty long time. I don't know if you guys have ever tried cold plunge, but that's a long time to be in the water. But it is just the most amazing thing ever, because it just feels like you get to reset your entire mind and body. So I'll sit in there and I'll do some breathing. I don't know if you guys have heard of Wim Hof, but it's kind of like Wim Hof breathing. And then I will visualize my whole body freezing up, like all of the cancer is just frozen like icicles. And then I'll hold my breath while I imagine my body just being frozen like that with the tumors. And then as soon as I start breathing again, I will shatter all of the tumors, and they'll just all be gone from my bones and my body, and it's just going to be completely renewed. And that's usually what I do in the cold plunge to get through the 5 minutes, because it's a long time and it actually starts to hurt after a while. And so I'll do the 5 minutes in there, and then I'll go back into the sauna for like another 20 minutes or so. I'll spend close to an hour in there, and I was going about 2 to 3 times a week initially when I first found the place. Now I probably have time to go maybe once a week. I ended up getting a personal trainer at that place, and it's a female trainer, and she is so great, and she used to do occupational therapy, so she's aware of how to work with injuries and how to work with my femur surgeries, all of my limitations. So she's much better than the previous personal trainer I worked with that was more generic that I found at my gym. And the other thing I like about her is that she used to be really skinny as well. She said she used to be like 95 pounds, which is basically what I was when I started. And she was able to gain weight, and now she's 125 pounds, and she has a super fit, muscular body, and it's just really awesome to see that, because if she can do it, then I can do it. So she's really been helping me, and she's been building a plan for me to do at home. I have a gym in my apartment, so I just go there. I don't have to pay for a gym membership. It's a lot easier to get the workout done that way. And they're pretty simple workouts. They're not difficult at all, but the exercises, once you do them routinely, the muscle memory is great because you can just rebuild it. And so I have been doing that 5 times a week, and I go to her once a week, and then I do the sauna and cold plunge. So that's the other aspect of my routine that has helped out so much. The best thing is that I have not had pain for the past month or so. I mean, the pain that I had in my ribs and my back and pain all along my right side, and it was going numb. And I was telling you guys in one of my videos that I couldn't even sleep due to the pain. I was waking up like 4 or 5 times a night. I couldn't fall back asleep. I had to take meloxicam and ibuprofen to control my pain, which I really didn't like, but it was very, very disruptive, and it was horrible. But now, slowly, the pain has just gone away, and I just realized it one day where I'm like, like I am not having any pain, and I'm able to sleep through the night. Now I sleep like a baby. I don't even wake up at all. I used to not be able to even lay on my right side because of how much pain I had, and the pressure from just laying on it would hurt so bad. But now I can lay on that side. I can do whatever, and even working out doesn't bother me. It used to really bother me if I worked out with my upper body, and it would just be sore for days. But now I don't have that. So I think for the first time, as far back as I can remember, I am actually pain-free. And that is amazing, because even when I was doing really, really well and my cancer was going away, I still had pain somewhere. If it wasn't my head, then it was my jaw. If it wasn't that, then it would be my back, because I would break vertebrae and have broken ribs, and then my hip and my femur, which resulted in finding tumors there and the surgery. It was just somewhere, anywhere, and it would just move around depending on whatever tumor was acting up at the time. For the first time in years, I don't have chronic pain anymore. I didn't even realize how much it affected me, how much it affected my mood, my energy levels. Living with pain, you're just constantly thinking about it. You're constantly trying to relieve yourself of that pain. And so you just have less patience for all the things that are going on in your life, and you're not able to focus or put your energy in the things that matter. Now I am just full of energy. I mean, I'm like out with my kids all the time, sometimes for the whole day. We're going to the park, we're going out and doing activities, I'm going out to see family and friends, and I'm doing all these things that normally would tire me out, and I would just be laid up in bed and suffering for days after that. Now I'm pretty much just out all of the time, and I'm just carrying on like a normal person, because I have all this energy and I don't have this pain that is weighing me down. I know that I'm on the right track, because whatever I'm doing with the food, it's definitely agreeing with my body. And if it's not shrinking the tumors, at least it's reducing my pain, and it's anti-inflammatory. And so far, I have put on 4 pounds within the last 4 weeks, and I'm so proud of myself. I mean, 4 pounds is so hard to gain. It's just crazy how much harder it is to actually gain weight than to lose weight sometimes. But I'm so happy that I've been able to put on some extra weight, and this is going to really help me. I just feel really good. I feel really healthy. I feel really optimistic. That, coupled with the new clinical trial that I'm going to be starting soon, I just finally have so much more hope and joy, a lot more than I've had in a while. I just really wanted to share that with you guys, and I'm going to update you when I finish the radiation, and when I start the clinical trial. I'll make a separate video about the clinical trial itself and what the drugs are and what it entails. I'm going to have to get some pre-testing done and some things that I have to do to prepare for it. So that's going to be coming up. So that's all I have for today. If you are new to my channel, then hit that subscribe button so that you can follow along with me on my journey, and you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you all for your love and support and your comments, and for coming back to watch my videos. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay?